What's up? All right, here we are, Pocket Network and Pocket Nodes. So I'm not going to get too much into what Pocket does, because if you're going to install a node, you've already read all about it. I do like it because it does serve a utility. There is a need for it. It will grow as the crypto blockchain industry grows. Right now, it's like we're back in the year 2000 where 90% of the internet companies went out of business. And as far as blockchain goes, this thing is going to stick around, and we're going to be laughing in a few years, all of those of us who actually have nodes. Right now, I'm not profiting on it. I'm just breaking even with the amount of nodes I have and the servers I have. But I'm just going to keep it running. There's some things I don't agree with on the tokenomics, but we won't discuss that today. So let me show you how to set up a node, the best way to go about it, the easiest way to set it up. Okay. Um, First of all, of course, on the Pocket website, it will take you to these instructions on how to run a node, set everything up. And again, this is all through Linux. So instead, I use Node Pilot, which is, let me pull this up again real quick, just so you can see their web page, their homepage. So I use Node Pilot, and this thing is really easy to set up. Okay, you get a server, Linux, and then you go through the instructions here on setting up, and then you have a GUI interface that allows you to install the Pocket nodes and all the blockchains. Okay, so we're going to go over that real quick. Get started. Hardware recommendations. Let's discuss that for a minute. Okay. Some people get a little confused here in the Discord when everybody's asking questions. First of all, you don't want to get a VPS. You want to get your own server because it has to run fast. And as far as hard drives go, they have some recommendations here, right here. You need NVMe drives. They're the fastest hard drives out there. And so you need to get those because we're talking about milliseconds as far as chain data going back and forth. And the more rewards you get, the more relays you process. So you definitely need those hard drives. So let's go over some other hardware requirements here. So it talks about the nodes, how many CPUs you need, how much memory, and storage. Okay. So keep in mind for these vCPUs, it's not like you need to add them all up. Like, for example, Avalanche is 8, Bitcoin is 4, BSC is 4. So you don't have to go 8, 12, 20. What I actually recommend is I got anywhere from 4 to 6 Pocket nodes running on a server, and the amount of CPUs minimum I have is 48. My other servers have 56 CPUs, and you never see this graph or whatever you want to call this here, this thing. You never really see it go over 25%. So 48, 56 CPUs. I recommend for memory. I recommend about 128 gigs of RAM. You just want to be safe. And all of this is going to allow you to add more Pocket nodes to your servers. Okay. I have a server that's being built right now where I'm going to put 10 Pocket nodes on it. Okay. It's almost the same existing setup as this, same amount of memory, 257 gigs. It does have 56 CPUs. Instead of 11 terabytes, I have 24 terabytes. So that's going to allow me to put at least, 10 Pocket nodes on it and run successfully. So back here to the hardware recommendations. This, after you set up your node pilot and you have the GUI interface, this is going to be, you're going to refer back to this to see how many CPUs and memory you need to give each Pocket node and each blockchain node its resources. One thing I want to point out here is it's saying Pocket only needs, oh no, they do say 20 gigs of RAM. Definitely make sure you have that. They must have updated that. So that's great. Okay. And for the CPUs, I definitely give it 8. And some of these down here that actually process a lot, for example, Ethereum, I gave it like 16 CPUs. Fuse, I gave at least 10. Harmony, I probably gave it, 24. So I always give it more than what is needed. Okay. um, so then you'll follow these instructions here on the install. You'll get your server. You'll install, if I say it right, Ubuntu, and I put Ubuntu 2.0. I install it. Okay. And most likely, if you're going to have, 11, 15, 20 terabytes of space, you're going to have multiple drives. So make sure when you format it and you install the operating system that it combines all the drives into one. Okay. We're making it easy. There's other reasons you want to keep them separate, but this is for beginners and we just want to get you up and going. So after that, it is really simple. You just follow these commands. You log in through Linux, through command prompt right here. You'll log in and then you just follow these instructions here. And you just go through the whole process. And then once you're done, you'll start it so you could actually log in and see the control panel. So you'll use this command right here. You see that? To actually start it. Okay. And then you go into configuring it and you'll be a new user. And so what you do is you'll go to the IP address and you will see this screen right here. Your connection is not private. Go to advanced. That will then take you to the user interface where then you could set up your new user registration. And then, of course, there's DNS records here. So you want to create a domain and then point that domain to the server. And all that information is right here. It's really, really simple. You only need 3 records in there to point the domain to that server for that node. Okay. And then you'll come in, once you log in, then you'll set up these other requirements here to get it going. Okay. And then once you get it going, you'll reboot it again, you'll shut it down. And then here's the actual command to get it going to where it'll actually be working and live. Okay. And then the next step, you will actually deploy the nodes. So let me show you a little bit about that right here. As you can see, here's a working version of mine. Let's get rid of that. Basically, to set up the nodes, first you want to set up the blockchains. So you'll go over here to chains. You'll choose, for example, Ethereum, and it gives you the default settings here. So what I would do is I would go to something like 10 CPUs and let's just say 24 gigs of RAM. And then I create the node. And so what it does is it creates that blockchain node on here. And I've done it for Binance, Ethereum, Fuse, XDAI, Harmony One, and Matic. Those are the only ones I use. Now, if we look at Pocket Scan, it shows you here, average earnings for each of these blockchains. So I really just stick with the top ones right here. I do not have Optimism because that is not on NodePilot yet. If you know how to add blockchain nodes on your server and then connect it to NodePilot, you could easily do that here, but I don't. So I just use the top ones right here. I don't get into, like you'll see down here, Avalanche. I don't get into Avalanche because there's a lot of competition for it and there's very little rewards. That takes up about 1 terabyte of space. So again, then you're running out of hard drive space and you're not really getting those rewards for it. So I just stick with the top ones. All right. Once you have all the chains set up, then you go up to here to validators, and this is where you add your Pocket node. And again, 16 CPUs, and then this memory, this is where I actually turn it up to, something over 20. Generate password. I click on that, and I hit create Pocket node. Now, if those blockchains that you already installed, if they're synced, then you could definitely click on these and then hit Pocket node. But don't do that unless they're synced. Going back to those, most of them will sync right away. The one that takes a while, I just installed this one right here. This thing probably takes about a week to install. It's very, very slow. For some reason right now, Binance Chain is still syncing on this server. All right. So those are the basics. I'm sorry I didn't get into actually open up Linux and doing that. I am going to save that for another one. I am going to do that video next. So I'll make a note of it here and you guys can follow that link. All right. I hope this helps some of you out, just taking you from the Pocket website to Node Pilot and simply following these instructions. Okay. Don't use Amazon Web Services. Find some web hosts where you could get a bare metal server and you could deploy Ubuntu, if I say it right, on it. And that's basically it. You'll be up and running. All right. Oh, quick thing. Let me share this too. When you actually get your node going, you will get a wallet address and you also get a private key. So you could use that private key to log into your wallet. And then in that wallet, you could send tokens and then you stake them here. Okay. We'll do that in another video. All right. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching.